Coming up on this edition of Speed Chronicles, don't call it a comeback.
Zig Media presents Speed Chronicles with Todd Lewis, powered by RevTV.
Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking out this week's edition of Speed Chronicles. We do it every week on the RevTV YouTube channel and, of course, your favorite podcast platforms. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for sharing. Please make sure you do hit the like and subscribe button. I said don't call it a comeback. Maybe we'll say welcome back. Welcome back, Max Verstappen and Red Bull into the Formula One championship. I don't want to go as far as to say that, yes, it is a three-way fight to the finish. There's enough races left. There's enough championship points left that certainly the championship is not a foregone conclusion. I don't want to say it's a full-on three-way fight yet, but it is certainly way closer to happening. Max is still 40 points behind Oscar Piastri, who leads the championship. Max has been on a really good run as of late. Oscar Piastri, well, since his crash, hasn't really shown an awful lot. Will it be different this weekend? I don't know. We'll get to that. I don't know. I don't want to say it's a full-on three-way fight yet. Max is still 26 points back of Lando Norris as well. That's more than a full race of championship points. So will it be the same? Will it be different? Will it be a full-on three-way fight after Mexico? Okay, that's a possibility. Max has done very well in Mexico. If both McLarens wipe each other out in corner number one, as they did in the sprint race, and don't score any points, that's a big problem. That's what happened at COTA, and it really was a confluence of circumstances that didn't allow them to get any points in the sprint race. That was the big extra boost that Max Verstappen got this week. It was nice watching Max pace the field basically out in front. Wins the sprint race, wins the Grand Prix, barely contested in either. McLaren basically tripping over their dicks right now. This is a time when you want to sort of tamp down any sort of talk, discussion, and attention from McLaren right now. And that's exactly the opposite of how the team operates and Zach Brown operates, because he's never been a microphone that he didn't like. Right now, any question that comes to McLaren, it should be that, hey, we have two number one drivers. We have two fantastic drivers. They both have the full support of the team. They both get equal resources every weekend. We want to put them in the best possible position to succeed. We do not favor one over the other. They are free to battle. Obviously, don't take each other out, but we want a championship race. We come here to race. That's your message, period. End of story. None of this other, well, after this incident, Lando's going to face sanctions, and Oscar had contact with Lando, who is out in front in the sprint race, so maybe we're going to have a discussion about that. No. Ask about anything. The response from McLaren should be, we have two great drivers. They have equal resources, the full backing of the team. We want them to race for a championship. Obviously, there are no team orders. Don't take each other out is the only proviso. That's what you want. That's not what you're getting from McLaren. That's the answer that needs to come from every question to sort of slow down this snowball that is rolling downhill and causing them to become distracted. Two great drivers. No favorites. Full resources. Away we go. Turn down the volume. Zach Brown, not sure if it'll happen. Funny one from this past weekend at COTA. And if you saw any of the shots, you see why this race has been extended for like another 10 years or something. Tremendous crowd, tremendous support, fantastic racing facility. Red Bull got fined £50,000 for a team member trying to rush back onto the grid after the formation lap. That person was trying to rip a piece of tape off the wall that McLaren had put there to help Lando Norris line up his car. Once you're buried in these cars, it's really difficult to see around you and make sure you're in the box and in the best possible starting position. So they put a piece of tape on the wall. This is not the first time this sort of thing has been done. But now Red Bull tried to run over and rip the tape off. And apparently it's happened before. It's not illegal to put tape on the wall or to try to rip the tape off. The fine was for trying to breach the area after the formation lap. It is hilarious, this kind of stuff. As we expected, as we talked about last week, Apple TV, a done deal now for coverage of Formula One beginning in 2026, 5-year deal for mega dollars. Interested to see how this plays out. It is giant money, well above what the current broadcaster in the United States was offering. The audience has grown significantly over the last 5, maybe 7 years, 1.2 million average now per race. Maybe it'll be up to 1.3, maybe a little higher by the end of the season. Where does this go from here when it shifts to a subscription streaming service? Going to be interesting to watch. It's not just about the press release number, though. How they work with Apple to grow Formula One in the United States is going to be the key. How it's promoted across different Apple properties. They're going to find as well, Apple, I believe, that F1 the movie is a lot different than Formula One the racing series. Formula One's always been kind of this exclusive club, though. That's the way it's presented. It's not accessible to the masses and the millions and billions. It's expensive. It's elite. Not easily accessible for everyone. So moving to Apple TV and a subscription service specifically for that may not be a bad thing. Oh, F1 TV, that stream that's on is apparently going to be available through Apple TV. So those that were worried it was going away, not a big deal. One other announcement this week. Canadian Grand Prix. Yes, remember? Coming up next year, the date shifts. They have announced big concerts for each night of the event in May. Good for you. Smart move. This is another event, understanding and realizing, yes, you were holding a race. That is the competition. It is an event. It is an event weekend. Make it bigger. Make it as huge as possible. You're in the entertainment business. It's important. The city of Montreal, everybody knows that it is already bubbling and teeming with parties and events. This just adds to it, makes it an even bigger event. This is a positive. This is a good thing. I can see more of this happening. Those concerts in Coda, well, saved it years ago. NASCAR was at Talladega. We only had the mid-size wreck. We didn't get the big one, thankfully. Didn't take out half the field. Took out a bunch of cars. The championship has this weekend coming up at Martinsville left, then moves on to Phoenix for the championship finale. Denny Hamlin's in. Chase Briscoe is now in. I'm not sure which I dislike most, the playoff elimination format that's currently in place with NASCAR, which I believe is 100% changing for 2026. I'm not sure how yet, but I 100% believe it's going to change. Or this ridiculous overtime rule that still bugs me. It's there to ensure, or read as manufacturer, that as many races as possible end under green flags. Race goes long, race goes into overtime, Kyle Larson gets screwed because he runs out of fuel. How do you strategize for this? Well, we have to have extra fuel just in case we run long. Well, how long might we run? We don't know. That's not the way to run a race. I just find that incredibly frustrating. On the what turned out to be the final green-white checker attempt, other cars got wrecked and crashed and ruined their day. I just find that so frustrating. IMSA and IndyCar done for the year. The natural slowdown is occurring. A couple of IndyCar things. We're waiting to see what the news is about Prema, whether they're coming back. They spent a ton of dough last year. They don't want to bury themselves, and I can understand that. There's still some driver seats to fill. We'll see what takes place there. A little bit of testing that's going on. There'll be testing coming up at Phoenix as IndyCar returns to that event as well. We believe there's one in November, and then another one early in the new year. My understanding that the work is continuing to happen with the NASCAR Canada Series and the schedule for next year. It's getting closer. It's not ready for announcement yet. Otherwise, it would have been done. Hopefully, things are moving in a positive and a good direction for the series. I'll reserve comments about the schedule until it's actually official. Sooner it gets done, the better, because right now everybody's trying to plan their 2026. This is when it happens, and as sooner we get a schedule, the better it is for everybody, and we can start planning for next summer. Already starting to mark up my weekends that are going to be busy, which I'm excited about. Okay, so we'll wait and see what happens this week. Formula One in Mexico, NASCAR at Martinsville. Oh, also part of Martinsville, if you're into it, Thursday, MX5 Cup. It was sort of an interesting first race last year. They ran on the oval. We'll see how it goes this year. Could be fun. I was sort of 50-50 on it last year. We'll see how it goes this year at Martinsville. It's a Thursday race, sort of the kickoff to the NASCAR weekend. Thanks for checking out this week's edition of Speed Chronicles. We'll do it again next Wednesday. Please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button.